Well, Rhode Island's Education Commissioner Infante-Green joins us every week here on 12 News Now at 4. Commissioner, thanks as always for being with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So I wanted to check in on the launch of surveillance testing. When we spoke last week, you said this would be the week that it would roll out statewide. So can you give us an update? How many districts are up and running? I believe it was only 2 that said they would not be participating.
Yeah, right now we have 33 LEAs and charters that have taken advantage of it. So we're really excited at this point, how it's rolling out. So it'll be available at the school level. There's a combination of either in the school or at close to the school, like in the parking lot. So there's going to be a combination of things. Parents should really reach out to their district to get more information.
And what about results from these tests? Will this be something that the Department of Education rolls out so that folks statewide can get a better look at COVID in schools?
Yeah, well, that information will still go back to the Department of Health, and we have it on our website and the Department of Health's website. So we'll continue to collect that information, and as we have been doing in the past for schools in particular.
I want to talk about something that I wasn't aware of until today, something called smart clinics. I understand they have come to Providence. So can you tell us what these are and how students can take advantage of them?
Yes. So right now we have 3 smart clinics that are coming on board. Right now we have 2 at Mount Pleasant and Roger Williams. And what it is that it's local practitioners, nurse practitioners, they are all local. They speak the language of the community, and it is going to offer services for students, families, and teachers. This is the first time that we have something like this. They measure their success on student outcomes, academic outcomes. Why? Because we know that health is integral in the development of students. So they are looking at preventative care, they're looking at managed care, they're looking at bringing in the family, actually having services for the entire family. So it's pretty amazing that we're going to be looking at it as whole communities. We have not determined where the third one is going to be, but it opens this week. So we're really excited.
And so what is this exactly? If someone is feeling sick, if someone needs a primary care visit, if someone needs a COVID-19
Yep.
vaccine, all of the above?
All of those things. If they need the COVID-19, the regular vaccine, if they need a test, so a COVID test will be in those clinics. But if they need mental health support, if we have to determine that a child is pre-diabetic, how do we actually stop them from being diabetic? How do we involve the family? Families can come and be seen as a group, individually, if they are part of that school community. And the best part is that teachers can be seen there as well. We've never had that in any kind of school community health clinic. That has never been the case. So I'm really excited about the possibilities. And the fact that the practitioners are all local is a big deal for us.
And so these will be accessible at the school during school hours?
Yep, it'll be in school hours, available to the families. And what was interesting is that one of the things that I want to really make sure that everybody understands that this is a partnership with CVS Health Corporation, the Rhode Island Foundation, and the Papito Foundation. So it is local community giving back to the local community. So we're really excited about that.
And in Providence now, but is there a hope to expand it to other districts in the future?
As far as I'm concerned, I would like to take it to every district in the state. And that's our hope. And we've been talking to CVS about expanding, but we need to get these off the ground and running. And we're excited about them. And they get built out. They will look like an actual clinic. So it's nice. It's something that we made a promise to the community early on that we would invest in. And here we are.
I want to ask about the vaccine. When we spoke last week, you said, educators were in the next phase, and we know that some of the next phase is starting to get vaccinated either this week or later in the month. Has anyone in the education community received their first shot just yet?
Not yet, not yet. So we are, in the next few weeks, it's going to turn to K-12. And we're really excited about that. I told you that I would come on your show and get vaccinated. So I will do that as soon as we start that phase. But I also want to remind parents that kids 18 and under and 16 and under are not recommended to have the vaccine. So this is really for the adults that we're talking about.
Pawtucket is meeting tonight to talk about what they're going to do. As we talked about last week, they have a very limited number of students who are actually learning in person, and I know you sent them a letter saying, listen, all of the concerns that you've brought up as to why students can't be in their physical classrooms, we've addressed them all. Has there been any response to that letter?
Yeah, the superintendent sent a response. But I will say, I stand firm. Every situation that they brought up that was a concern for them to get back into the buildings, we went and we mitigated with them. We made sure. They said that the electricity wouldn't, the building is old, the electricity wouldn't handle the power. That's not true. So we brought in electricians. So we've mitigated. Right now, it is the decision of the school board, and I know that they're meeting tonight. But I have to say that I'm really concerned because, as you know, Pawtucket is a very diverse district. It is a district of learners that need additional supports. They are scheduled to be a one-star district. So I'm concerned. And yes, they may be doing things online. I'm not saying that they're not. But we all know that in person is best, especially for a community that needs the additional support.
Do you have any sense from your correspondence with the superintendent from that response that they will be changing their course of action tonight, or does it seem like they're going to stay the course of keeping kids remote?
I don't really have any idea, but I do know that there's no physical concern on the building side. What they are, where we do have concern is that they haven't done the other mitigation that schools have done. The opening, moving the desks, the spacing, those things need to get done. And that's what the district needs to do. So I hope that they bring kids back because, there's a large number of underrepresented population in Pawtucket that was already struggling before the pandemic. So we really feel that this is an urgent matter. I don't know what they'll do. I hope that they put kids front and center. And I know that they said that they had concerns. Now that they know that the concerns are not there, we're hoping that they will make a different decision.
And what about next steps? If they do decide to keep the kids out of school, is the Department of Education going to take any action?
Well, so Kim, I think at the end of the day, the community votes those people into their position, not me, right? I've done my due diligence. I have addressed every single concern, everyone. And I've made my position pretty clear. We need to have kids be in the classroom safely. So putting in the mitigation, other districts have done it. Every district in Rhode Island has done it. So I think that that's up to the community, right? These are elected people to boards that really should represent the interests of the community. And I think that the challenge is that when we met with them, they said that 30% of the parents wanted to be remote. But what about the 70%, right? So I think we just have to figure out what makes sense for the community. That's all I can say. That's really up to the community at this point. We are very clear on where we stand.
I know we are fresh off of the holiday break, but February break is coming up pretty soon. Has there been any discussion of whether there will be a staggered return, whether you'll allow that again after February break?
Well, the February break is a little shorter. There's conversations about what that's going to look like. We haven't finalized that yet, but as you know, we allowed the staggered return now. One, because it was a holiday, and the holidays that we just came off of are holidays that are thought of as family gatherings, as very sentimental holidays. And I think that this is a different type of a break. So we're looking at it a little differently, but we haven't made any decisions yet. But we did have the staggered return now so that there could be that quarantine period. And we hope that everyone has taken us up on that opportunity.
Some of the big news in the last week was that the governor has been nominated to be the next Commerce Secretary, which means that Lieutenant Governor Dan McKee will assume her role if she's confirmed and does head down to D.C. Have you had any conversations with Lieutenant Governor McKee about the transition?
I have not. I've spoken to him before this, but I have not after the transition, no.
Okay, so at this point, it's just sort of a wait and see until the governor officially moves down to D.C., how things will proceed?
Yes, Yes, right now, well, I'm just, I'm in the middle of a pandemic with so many balls in the air. My focus is on making sure that we get back safely, that instruction is happening, and and quite honestly, that we keep leading the nation. I had the opportunity to speak to the Secretary of Education, the new Secretary of Education. Um, and there's a lot of work that we have done in Rhode Island that other places have not done. So they're looking for us to help them inform what other states can do. So I'm keeping my eyes on the prize, which is our kids.
When did that conversation happen with the incoming Secretary of
Recently,
Education? Okay.
recently. Hmm.
And it was a productive one?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He's a good guy. He's somebody that I've worked with closely. So I'm really excited about the possibilities of sharing the things that we have done. So, like, for example, this surveillance testing and the BINACs and having it in the schools, like, that's something that, I don't know if everybody's aware, other states have not come back. Some states went out in March and still have not come back. So we're ahead of the curve here. And they're struggling. So we will provide any assistance, support, and we'll work collaboratively with everyone and anyone. But my focus is on Rhode Island and what we need to get done here.
Was that a one-on-one call or a group conversation?
It was a group conversation. We have the New England Chiefs that meet once a week. He still comes to those meetings, and a one-on-one conversation. And I offered to share some of our surveillance testing, what we've done, our EDOC, our systems, because now he's thinking nationwide, and he's a New Englander, so he's very proud of the work that we have all done, and we want to share everything that we have learned because we've learned a lot.
Fantastic. Anything else that you'd like to add or let people know today?
No, I just want to thank the families, and we're ready to learn. Rhode Island is ready to move forward, get our kids in, do the right thing, and continue to learn and lead. And I want to thank every one of you, and Happy New Year to everyone.
Commissioner, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.